Good morning and welcome to Miss Bookworth Takes a Closer Look at Children's Books. First of all, I want to tell you that while I'm not a trained educator, I did teach ESL for 9 years, and I was trained in that. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that this is a premiere video. I would call it filled with mistake video, but it's premiere. And when I think of premiere, I think of red carpet and fancy evening gowns and expensive jewelry and paparazzi. Well, I don't have anything like that right here. I've got my dining table and my windows are closed to protect us from the sunlight. So this is a premiere at a very, 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 very low level. Now, I want to talk to you first about the board books we're going to discuss today. The board books are very useful for small children because they're strong. They can be chewed on, they can be drooled on, they can be grabbed, and no small child would be able to tear this. Now, they might get worn out from use. But other than that, I think they're very sturdy and should last through a child's early reading years. Okay, this first one I've got is one of my favorite ones. It's called What Is That? Now, I would show this to a newborn child, not expecting him or her to understand, but to appreciate the colors. The first colors that a baby will recognize are white, black, and then the bright red. So this whole book is just black, white, and then it has some bright red in it someplace. Let me find the bright red. Oh, maybe no bright red. Whoops, no bright red. Just black and white. And the bright red on the front. If it were me, I would set this book, I would open it, and I would set it by the side of the baby's face and just let him or her stare at it. This will stimulate their vision and contribute to their development intellectually. A great little book, $6.99, high contrast, no text, so you can, when the child gets older, you can just make up your own text. This is a stroller. This is a balloon. The balloon is white. Ah, this is a car. This is a car. Daddy has a car. Things like that. I read that you were able to read anything to a small child, even an adult book or magazine articles. It's not so much the words, it is the tone of voice and the cuddling. Bonding with your child is so important, and reading is one of the best ways of doing that. And believe me, they outgrow cuddling very, very quickly, so take advantage of it as long as you can. In this book, there are a series of other books called White and Black and White, and they have the same basic principle of stimulating your child's vision with the colors that they're able to recognize the earliest. I read some reviews from other places, and one lady said that her 9-month-old child still loves it. Another one said she used it for tummy time. Another one said that it was a boring book. I'm sorry, lady, but a newborn baby, how can they possibly be bored by a picture of a car? They have no idea what that is. Imagine what their little brains are doing trying to figure out what that is. So she said it was boring. Maybe her child is a genius. I don't know. But there was an article in parents.com that said that children are never too young to learn a language. And this is the very, very beginning of language learning, and that's improving your vision. The next book is a bilingual book. And there are a lot of these in our library in Houston, in our libraries in Houston, because we are a very diversified city with people from all over the world. This book here is in English and Urdu. Urdu is a language of Pakistan. It's $8.99, but you can buy them used at Amazon, and I would recommend that unless the postage is so high that it offsets the Amazon price. Finally, the colors are, again, very bright and beautiful. There's only one word per page, which is really good. A child can focus on a page. For example, look here. There's a word asparagus. Now somebody complained and said, well, they don't know all of these vegetables. And I'm thinking, that's right. That's the point of this. You don't know all the vegetables, but you're going to learn them. So here's asparagus, a very difficult word, but maybe something the child can eat and recognize. The next picture I'm going to just show you in here. Oops, where is it? Right here is a picture of peas. Now, I think babies hate peas generally, and I'm doing this because babies hate peas, and I thought they'd enjoy seeing a picture of what they hate. I don't know why I picked peas. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to read this to your child and go, onion, yum, 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 or potato, yum, yum, to encourage your child to try new things. See, reading's not just for reading. This is a book that's probably best used by the Urdu speakers as an ESL language course. So you can get tons of books with vegetables, pictures, and words that don't have a second language. But this one here would be a very good ESL book for Urdu speakers who are trying to learn the language. One thing I would caution though is that if you, as a parent who doesn't speak English as a first language, that you should maybe check out the correct pronunciation of these words and go to Google Translate or to dictionary.com and look them up, and then they will say the word for you. Okay? Oh, one more thing about this is that one of the reviewers said, and more than one as a matter of fact, said that there were some translation errors where the words that they were using in the book were not the correct words. But I don't find that real unusual because words are regional a lot of time. And for example, we might refer to something here in Texas as, well, we might say howdy to somebody. And then somebody back east will say, no, we say hello. And they'll say, well, it's not translated correctly. And I would say, yeah, it is, because it's a different region. So I'm not sure these are really incorrectly translated so much as they're maybe regionally not correct. The next book, again, is another bilingual book called Opposites in English and Spanish. And it's $6.99. It's a good, strong board book. Has some good pictures in it. Let me show you a couple. Few and many. Few and many. Few is a pretty tough word. Few and many. Let's go here to the next one. This one here is open and closed. I personally thought open and closed, these examples were not very good. All the lines and everything are pretty confusing. I wish they would have just put the open and closed items together. But maybe you'll teach your child some kind of eye training or something with it. I didn't particularly care for that, but that's what's there. It is what it is. All right. There are beautiful photos in here, and they say there are beautiful photos in here, and educators say that most children by the age of 4 should know their opposites. And I know a lot of little children who are like 2 or 3 that know up and down and in and out. One educator said that this kind of book will improve problem solving for children. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what he said. I would recommend this book. I would recommend any book that taught vocabulary using very simple pictures. Okay? Again, this goes back to, I think this is best for an ESL student, because unless you know the pronunciation of the Spanish, I wouldn't try to teach these words to my children because you'll teach them incorrectly. The next one that's really cute is Baby 123, written by Deborah Donenfeld. And Deborah Donenfeld is a well-known child photographer, and her works have been published in magazines throughout the United States. She also has another book, Baby ABC, basically same idea. This book, again, has great pictures, bright colors, children that a child could probably recognize. This says, I can't remember what the age group is on here, but the babies look to be about 12 months old, and I think that would be probably even a little bit late to start something like this. Anyway, as the child gets older, they're able to understand that 1, 2, 3 are not just numbers, but they represent specific things. They would recognize 1 apple, 2 apple by the age of 4. Again, it goes back to, it's got big type, colorful pictures, and 1 word per page. And this particular, it's always numbers. However, you can expand the vocabulary in this book by using what? The colors and the object. 1, 1, 1. Okay? Kind of wouldn't worry about that one. 1, 1. And then here's one I like back here. 7. 7 toothbrushes. These are objects that a child should easily recognize over a period of time. There's 7 doggies or stuffed animals, depending on what you want to call them, trucks. So this is a great little book, and it has objects, again, that the children recognize, and the mother can count and help them understand that there are 7 of something, and it's not just a number like a letter A. Okay, I've got 2 more books. This one is called Baby Animals. Again, it's a board book. That's all I'm doing today are board books. And the board book here is about, $5.50 to $7, depending on where you buy it. And they say it's for 3 to 7 years old. And I really disagree with that. I think it's for a much younger child, maybe 18 months. With the caveat that you don't want to read necessarily every single word that's on these pages, that you might just want to read the main idea from your own creation. You want to create your own story using very short words. This is beautiful, beautiful illustrations. I believe I read that they were watercolors, and that Guo Fujikawa, I'm sorry about the pronunciation, is the artist and illustrator. And again, she is a Japanese American who has won many, many awards. Unfortunately, she passed several years ago. See what I got here. Puppies are fat and funny. And then what do? They make the sound of a puppy. Bow wow, bow wow. And you can read that to your child. Kittens are soft and furry. Meow, meow. Again, if you feel like that's too many words for your baby, just point it out. Chickens. Tweet, tweet, beep, beep, chickens. All right? Or a sheep. There's a sheep. What's a sheep say? Bah, bah, bah. So I think they restrict us to an older age group, and it doesn't need to be if you just modify it with just the pictures and the sounds the animals make. What else do I want to say with this? One of the reviewers said that her child considered it to be the most favorite book that he's read, and that the message is good. And I had a hard time figuring out the message, but it's on the very first page, and that's to be gently petted and snuggled, that animals are to be handled gently. And one mother felt like that was the key point and the main message of this book. There were a couple of issues, not with this particular book because I got it from the library, but that people that ordered them online got some poorly constructed books. And again, if you do that, of course, you can always return them and get a replacement. Remember, it's not necessarily the author's fault. And finally, my very favorite book in this group, and it's a classic, and probably every child has had it read to them, and if your child hasn't, you need to run out and get a copy. It's called Brown Bear, What Do You See? This particular book is bilingual, and it's in Spanish. Now, again, I'd say that it is for ESL, because unless you're a good Spanish speaker and can pronounce the words correctly, I think it wouldn't be so good to use for teaching small children Spanish. This is a great book because of the colors, and the illustrations are kind of different with a different kind of shading and everything. And of course, who's ever seen a blue horse? That's what makes it fun. And this book has rhyming and lots of good rhyming and rhythm. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird staring at me. What do you see? I see this, I see that. So it's a great rhyming book. Now, let me go right here, show you this purple horse. Oh, I'm sorry, what color is it? The blue horse. So, your child might go, there's no blue horses. Yeah, and you can have a conversation. I would recommend this from just really small, 4 or 5 months up until they're about 2, 2.5. I don't know, it depends on the aptitude of your child. But this is a fun book, and it's fun because of the rhythm and the rhyme. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. So you go through the whole thing with different colored animals, looking at different people. And the last couple of pages are fun. Children, what do you see? And the children say, hold on. We see a brown bear, a red bird, and they go through all of the animals that they saw in the book. You learn colors here, you learn animals here, you learn rhythm here, and you learn rhyming here. And this is a great book, and again, it is a classic. As a matter of fact, I love this book so much that I'm going to be giving it away. If you'd like to receive a copy of this from me, please make a comment below, and I'll choose the most positive comment with the best suggestions on how I can improve this video. And I'll get your mailing address and mail it to you. Well, that's my premiere episode of Mrs. Bookworth Takes a Second Look at Children's Books. Before I go, I want to share a quote by a famous person whose name I can't remember, but it's a good quote, and it says, "A present reader is a future leader." That's so true. Let's make all of our children good leaders. Have a nice day. Thank you.